Hello everyone and welcome to Autocrat. This is episode 97, Usurpation. I don't know how to pronounce that word.
Usurpation.
You introduce it.
Okay. Hello everyone and welcome to Autocrat. This is episode 97, Usurpation.
Ooh. When we last left our Alba Longan kings, or Ausonian kings as they are called in Ovid, we saw Proca die in 796 BCE.
Yep.
By the way, our version of the Nuremberg Chronicle claims that Ovid calls this king Palatinus, but our version of Ovid does not say this.
Right.
So, who knows what's going on there?
Yeah, maybe it's just an epithet saying that he died in the Palatine Hill, but it's just a curiosity I stumbled across.
Either way, Proca's dead.
Oh no!
2 sons survived him.
Right, that sort of implies there were other sons that died.
Or that he had daughters that died, or,
Yeah.
not necessarily sons.
Yeah, maybe he had an Aventinus or a Proca Jr. who didn't make it, but regardless, there's 2 of them.
Right. Now, we're going to continue as we've been doing by going sources by sources.
Okay.
And we're going to start with our boy Ovid.
Alright.
Well, that's going to go very quickly because he only says that Amulius takes the throne by military forces.
Right. Do you remember, by the way, a few episodes ago, I said that Amulius from way back would be Amulius I if he was actually king?
Yeah.
Well, say hello to possible Amulius II.
Hello.
I didn't mean literally. He's not here. We've been through this.
So what's that?
Oh.
Oh. We'll be right back.
Yeah. Insert boop noise.
So that's all we have from Ovid.
Okay.
We then turn to Mr. Dio, first name Cassius.
I think his first name was Lucius, actually.
Who has a lot to say.
He has so much.
He has so much to say. So, Numitor was the elder brother and heir to their father.
Nice. So we have Numitor and we have Amulius, sons of Proca.
Yeah.
Okay.
Numitor had a son called Aegestis and a daughter named either Silvia or Rhea Ilia, which sounds very close by with the Ilia Evia thing.
I guess, but if it's the latter, it's a nice throwback to Troy or Ilium, I guess.
It is. And I also quite like the name Rhea Ilia.
Yeah.
It's quite beautiful.
It's quite melodic.
Well, in any case, Numitor was chased off the throne by Amulius.
Okay.
He also then killed Prince Aegestis while he was hunting.
Oh.
Could be an accident, hunting. Aegestis was wearing white, looked like a rabbit.
Yeah. A stag came along and found Aegestis and stabbed him 100 times in the face. It happens. Now, by the way, Ovid claims in his Fasti that Lausus is the son of Numitor, not Aegestis, so the name changes. But, we can say there were 2 different sons and they were both killed by the savage deer with the giant sword.
All we know about Lausus is that a sword killed him. So,
Okay.
We can pretend that there was such a cool palace fighting scene and there was lots of blood and swords and awesomeness and yeah.
One-liners and Dutch angles. And then cut over to Aegestis who just gets hit in the face while he's looking out for a rabbit or something.
Well, it will fit nicely with Livy later on, by the way.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Good. Meanwhile, Rhea was made into a priestess of Vesta in order that she would stay a virgin.
Right.
Because that's how you stay virgin. Become priestess.
Yeah, the priestesses of Vesta were celibate. Yeah. Now, why exactly?
Well, because Amulius had heard a prophecy. Another one.
Yep.
There's lots of prophecies.
Don't worry, I'll find the jingle.
Yet another prophecy! That Numitor's kids would kill him. However, to go completely against the staying a virgin thing, Rhea becomes pregnant while picking up water in the Grove of Mars.
Right.
So either she's the Virgin Mary, or, she had fun with someone.
We get into that.
We do.
The sources go into it a lot.
Good. She gives birth to 2 boys who were going to date to around 771 BCE.
We are.
And she names these boys Romulus and Remus.
Yes, that's right. We're finally here.
To where?
I don't know, but it's somewhere.
We don't know why this is important.
All of the Albelongan ancestors that's why Remulus sounded weird.
Amulius' daughter begged for Rhea because Amulius was going to kill her.
Oh.
Yeah, because, well, she got pregnant.
Yeah. She did the one thing she wasn't supposed to do.
But then she manages to save her cousin's life.
Nice.
The base bees are given to a man called Faustulus to be exposed to die on the bank of the river Tiber. And we'll see how that goes next episode. Sorry, sweetie.
Ah.
Sorry, Coast.
Ah. You've already called me sweetie in at least one episode, so it's not like it's a big secret.
Yeah. Now, our boy Levi.
Yes.
Does he have a full name? Because I like calling them by their full name.
He is Titus Livius.
Now, our boy Titus Livius, what can you say about him?
Well, Proca wanted to leave the throne to his elder son, Numitor. Perhaps understandable, given that's how that's been working for literally the past 500 years. However, Amulius ignored Proca's will and evicted his brother from the throne. He also murdered the sons of Numitor, so again, Lausus has a really cool fight scene. Agestus just dies in a forest. The Vestal Virgin thing that Rhea Ilia was subjected to was supposed to give her honour, but actually to guarantee she wouldn't have children because she was now a member of that priestly order.
I mean, fate has other ideas there.
Yeah. Rhea was...
not consensually a non-virgin anymore.
No, and gave birth to twin boys. Now she claimed that the god Mars was the father.
Mars is...
Ares.
Ares.
The god of war. Livy speculates that either she thought this was true herself, or she wanted to make herself innocent by claiming it.
Or she wanted to feel better about the non-consensual aspect of something.
Yes, not taking away from that, but there were bad punishments if you were a Vestal Virgin who was found to no longer be a Vestal Virgin. Think buried alive kind of bad.
Oof.
Either way, she was arrested and the boys were sentenced to be drowned in the Tiber.
Okay.
And that's where Livy ends it for at least this episode.
We go next to Mr. Stephen Diodorus.
No, Mr. Siculus, first name Diodorus.
Oh, that's his first name?
Well, it just means Diodorus of Sicily, I think. Diodorus Siculus. Yes, but
Nice.
Stephen. We go over to Stephen.
So, according to him, people sometimes claim that Romulus was the maternal grandson of Aeneas,
Right.
and that Numitor was not in the country when Proca died, so Amulius was able to take power.
Okay.
So it tells us some little things
Yeah.
that are just a bit weird.
So it's a palace coup while Numitor was not in the country. Perhaps Proca died unexpectedly.
We then turn to the Origo, which I am guessing is not a person but just a book title.
No, I think we've mentioned it before. It's the Origo Gentis Romane, written by Sextus Aurelius Victor.
Right, we turn to Mr. Sextus Aurelius Victor and his Origo.
Okay.
The Origo barely mentions Procas and goes on to his two sons. Procas divided his inheritance into two sections, rule of the kingdom and his material wealth.
Okay, so one gets one, the other gets the other.
Yeah.
Okay.
He asked Numitor, his eldest son, which one do you want? And Numitor chooses the wealth because, wealthy, like money. So Amulius becomes king.
Okay.
I think Numitor is a bit silly.
Or that's the reason Amulius gave after seizing power and killing Numitor's sons. Like, it's not my fault. My brother chose the money. And then he chose the money, so I had to kill his son in an epic fight scene / kill the other one in the forest.
Yeah, and, making Rhea a Vestal Virgin.
Yeah, it's just how the world works.
The standard impregnation by Mars story happens.
Yep, along with the standard murder of nephews.
Yep. But there is a different version the Origo relates because of the lost sources.
Right, so it's citing material we no longer have.
Which is sad.
Yeah.
Let's have a minute of pause for the lost sources. Anyway.
Okay, maybe not a whole minute. We kind of need to keep going.
It is possible that Amulius succumbed to lust on his niece.
Oh.
Think Ptolemies.
Yeah, think Ptolemies, think Claudius, think Holy Roman Emperor Leopold I, that kind of thing.
Yeah. He went on to her as she was collecting water to be used in a ceremony to Mars, and she then became pregnant.
That is the same detail we had earlier, though, that it was in the sacred grove of Mars that stuff happened, whatever it was.
Yeah. She still gives birth to twins.
Yeah.
And, well, Amulius learns of, her being pregnant and giving birth and wants to hide his evil deed.
Yeah.
So he orders that Rhea be killed off and his illegitimate sons brought to him. But let's get back to Numitor.
Okay.
He apparently hoped that his grandson would avenge him. So he swapped the twins for different ones and gave them to his shepherd Faustulus to raise.
Yeah.
And like earlier, we'll come back to that next time.
Oh man, we're going to have to sort all this out at the end of the episode to say what actually happened.
We will.
Headaches.
Now, Dionysus clearly has a lot to say.
Yep.
And if you can tell me his full name, you get to say it.
Well, it's Dionysus of Halicarnassus, which I think we have mentioned before. I am still baffled as to why you're on this full name trend today, but I'm not going to question it.
Good.
Amulius takes the throne of his brother.
Yeah.
He rules for 42 years, ending his reign in 754 BCE.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, in the Lost Clay tablets, the year 753 comes up a lot. Really weird they used BCE, despite the fact that the CE hadn't happened yet. Anyway. Now, let's explain a bit more about these Vestal Virgins, shall we? And why that was so controversial.
Okay.
There were 6 of these priestesses who maintained the state cult of Vesta. Now, note, we didn't really mention her Greek equivalent very much, but this is the goddess Hestia.
Right.
The jobs of these priestesses included looking after the sacred fire and gathering water from a holy spring, preparing sacred food, etc. They were selected by the Pontifex Maximus, which we've covered before as sort of the head religious honcho, when they were girls of between 6 and 10. This would mean that Rhea Ilia, was born sometime between 802 and 806 BCE, if we can believe this vague chronology. If she's born in, let's say, the average of 804, she's then 33 when her sons are subsequently born, which...
Reasonable.
Seems reasonable.
Late for the time, but reasonable.
Yeah. These priestesses had a tenure of 30 years and had to remain celibate throughout. Now, the blood of Vestal Virgins could not be shed. This is very important. So if they didn't remain celibate, they were buried alive. You can see why Rhea's cousin ended up begging for her life.
Yeah, I can see that.
Now, this sacred fire thing, this isn't in my research, this is off the top of my head, but it's one of those fires that's basically never meant to go out, and if it does, bad things. A bit like how there's always meant to be 6 ravens in the Tower of London, and if they leave, then the monarchy will fall.
Okay.
Which is why they clip their wings, anyway.
We turn on to our next source, which is Mr. Plutarch.
Yep.
I will be giving him the first name of Richard.
Richard. Okay. He was probably called Plutarchos, if I'm transliterating into Greek, but no, he's Richard. Richard Cary Plutarch. Anyway.
Plutarch claims that the descendants of Aeneas ruled one generation to the next until Numitor and Amulius.
Yep, like we've seen.
Amulius suggested that the 2 brothers split things equally when their father died. There were 2 choices, kingdom, money.
We've seen that before.
Numitor, choose kingdom.
Ooh, the other way round this time.
Yay! However, Amulius now had the money and easily used it to,
Usurp.
And easily used it to...
Usurp.
The kingdom as well.
I mean, you can see the semblance of what might have been the actual story there. Like, second sons of monarchs tend to be quite rich anyway, so maybe he just funded that coup that he sprang when Numitor was out of the kingdom.
He then turned the daughter, Rhea Ilia, into a Vestal Virgin to stop her having children. There's no mention of sons there.
Okay, so we don't have the cool palace fight scene.
And she again becomes pregnant and would have been killed if not for Antho, Amulius' daughter, interceding.
Alright. We have a name this time, Antho.
Yeah, that seems like it's a shorten of something, because Antho doesn't sound like a woman's name.
I mean, I think a lot of Greek names did end in O. Like
Antonia, maybe?
Well, there's a woman called Ino. Now you're going for the fact that it's Anthonia?
Yeah.
Alright.
Amulius keeps Rhea in isolation so that he would know the moment she gave birth.
Alright.
She eventually gives birth to 2 boys. They were larger and more beautiful than normal human babies were.
Okay, play the divinity jingle here, because I think that's what we're implying.
Could it be he's divine, or is this all a waste of time?
Amulius' fear only increased when he saw them. He ordered a servant to get rid of them.
Okay.
So we don't know who they get rid of too in this one.
Yeah, and we don't know what happens until next time.
No, we don't.
The same cliffhanger we've used every time. Surely it won't get old.
Let's now turn to Appian. Procas has 2 sons, again, Numitor and Amulius. When Procas dies, Numitor becomes the king.
Okay.
But Amulius takes it off forcefully.
Yeah.
Numitor's son, we have a son, Aegisthus, is killed while his daughter Rhea is made to become a Vestal Virgin. Same story so far.
Sure.
Interestingly, although Amulius did plot to kill Numitor, he survived because of the gentleness and clemency of his character, quoted.
Yeah.
Now, you can speculate on what that means.
It either means he's nice or a coward.
Exactly.
Probably.
Rhea becomes pregnant illegally by...
According to Appian, not by Appian. That would be a real plot twist.
Yes. Why did I think that for a second? Because I'm reading as I go.
That's fantastic. So we now have a new conspiracy theory about who Romulus' dad is. It's Appian.
So yes, Rhea is becoming pregnant, but Appian says that the father of the twins is not known.
He would say that, though, wouldn't he, if he was the father?
He would. Amulius arrests his niece and keeps her incarcerated until she gives birth to her twin boys. This time, it doesn't instruct just some servant to take the boys away, it instructs some shepherds to throw the boys into the river Tiber.
Alright.
So we go back a bit to the main story we were looking at.
Yeah.
However, Appian then falls silent about the boys, picking up instead as a general summary with the deeds of the Roman kings. So we've lost Appian as a source for now.
Oh no.
Oh no. Finally, we get to our final source, Eutropius.
Yeah.
He is a new source.
Yeah, I think we might have used him like in one sentence before, but I can't remember.
I mean, it's possible, but he's a new source for this one in any case.
Yeah, I think he does now actually come into the story a bit more.
Cool. He's writing a Roman history and dedicating it to the 4th century Emperor Valens.
Yep. And what does he say about Romulus and Remus?
Well, he says that it's believed that Mars was the father of the boys, but it doesn't really weight in that much.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was an ecclesiastical source writing in a Christian Rome, so I don't think he would have said, yes, Mars is definitely the father.
What we can take from that in any case is either Amulius, unfortunately, or someone unknown is the father of Rhea's boys.
Yeah. Appian.
But Rhea, because, you know, of the trauma in either way, if there was trauma, just says it's Mars.
Yeah.
Because is Mars really going to come and say it's not?
I mean, depending on the time period, yeah, definitely.
And Amulius, either to hide what he did or because of fear, he orders the boys exposed to the Tiber, or he orders them away in any case.
Yeah. Okay, so now we've got to actually deal with what really happened, because I think every source has had a different version of events.
I think what we can agree on, because that's what was mostly there, and what I've taken away from the story while I was reading this, is there's 2 sons.
Yep.
They each gets something. One gets the kingdom, one gets the wealth. Doesn't matter who.
Yep.
But it always ends up with Amulius getting everything.
Yeah.
And deciding that his niece is to be made a virgin because for some reason, either because it doesn't want her to have kids that could take over from him, because of a prophecy, because of many reasons.
Yep.
Then she somehow is not a virgin. She gets pregnant. She has boys, and those boys get taken away. They're named Remus and Romulus, potentially, because we only see all that in one of the sources, or two.
I think we see that across many, but I might not have written it down.
Okay, well, then that's your fault.
Yeah.
And
all right. Yeah. I did well for 97 episodes. Cut me some slack.
But anyway, she gives birth to boys. They get taken away. They go somewhere. The goal is to not have those boys there.
Yeah.
And Rhea is not killed so far, but she gets her boys taken away. I think that's what we can agree on.
Yeah. What I'm thinking as well for the usurpation is maybe Amulius was the younger son, favourite son, and got wealth lavished upon him by Proca. Then Proca died unexpectedly. Numitor was away, maybe fighting a war or something, or maybe just, I don't know, counting sheep in a nearby field, who knows. And then at the speed of monarchy, he technically becomes king, but Amulius uses his wealth to usurp the throne and then fabricates this story about Numitor having chosen not to be king.
Good.
Alright, sounds good?
Sounds good.
Nice. So, next time, in episode 98, we will be dealing with the fallout of the birth of Romulus and Remus. And that will, by the way, also be our last episode, or main episode, I should say, of Chapter 3. So after that, we'll do a recap in episode 99, and then, well, we've got something planned for episode 100. It may have to do with those lost clay tablets that keep saying 753 on them.
It may have.
Yeah.
Or this weird city that we can't quite see the name of that we keep mentioning.
Yeah, exactly. Something along those lines.
Well, until next time, have a great week, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, and have a great week.